Hello and welcome to another of my Honkai Impact 3 Sim Battles videos. This one will be covering Argent Knight, Kallen, and Assaka. I probably mispronounced two of those names, at the minimum. Anyway, let's start things off with Argent Knight. So, this will be like all the other videos. I won't be using any one of my pal or friends list, and it'll just strictly be the trial characters. Let's take a look at the trial characters this time around. This looks like our main damage dealer. Yeah, she's got her signature blade. Good set of stigmas. Skill points are all ranked up. That's great. And this one looks like she's going to be support. She's going to help apply a fire debuff to the boss. And finally, we have Blood Rose, but not in for what Blood Rose is normally used for these kind of battles. Normally, instead of having her signature weapon, she has Blood Dance on. So she can drop in, apply the debuff to the enemy, and then drop back out. And basically never be seen again because you can usually kill the enemy fairly quickly once that buff is applied. So, since she's in here to actually do fire damage, she'll actually be coming out in rotation. Normally I wouldn't bring her out because she doesn't generate enough power to fire off Blood Dance. But in this case, she will be able to actually contribute. She'll be applying a fire debuff to the boss. Alright. Here we go. So, my first move is actually going to be a charge attack against the boss. Whoops. And already I managed to mess up pretty badly. I didn't switch in Blood Rose because I'd already unfortunately messed up quite badly in this fight, but I'm still recovering. I was going to say about 25 seconds, but I got it in 23. And still managed to pull off a score of 14,189, which is more than enough. I've mentioned it in other videos, and I'll mention it again. You only really need to aim for a score of 13,500 for each of these bosses, or at least an average therein. That'll give you all the points you need to get all the rewards from your armada. So that one's done. Plenty of time, easy peasy. Even though I messed up, I still managed to pull off a solid score. I probably could have increased it by close to 400 points, maybe. It's a big if. If I had managed to dodge properly on that first attack, I would have had the time slow, which would have allowed me to apply more of a fire debuff to the boss. I didn't do it, but still, 14,000 is more than good enough. This boss is painful. Never bring an elemental-based damage dealer against this boss. They are immune to all forms of elemental damage. They can only take physical. So, and as you can see, this team, well, if you don't know these characters, this team is a physical damage team with the Bright Knight here being the main damage dealer. She's got her signature weapon, her signature stigmas, skills all souped up. She's going to be the bread and butter damage dealer. This is a support character. When she drops her musical instrument, it applies a debuff to the enemy, which also applies a buff to whatever character that's on the field. On top of that, she can deploy that as an ultimate move because she can support your main damage dealer from off the field by dropping an AoE on the enemy. Very, very handy. This character, she does have her star cannon, which applies a debuff to an enemy when you shoot them with it. And on top of that, she doesn't actually ever have to hit the field. She gives a shield to all of your other characters that applies a physical damage buff as well as a damage protection. Gives them a shield. When the shield breaks, they lose the physical damage buff, so it's best to try and avoid getting hit while it's on because it's not all that durable. So, with that in mind, what'll happen is I'll drop her musical instrument first thing, switch to Bronya here, and then switch to the main damage dealer and just go to town on the boss. I gotta wait until it says 1, drop, switch, shoot, switch, stab, and go to town. There's that side support. And ultimate for good measure, and a little more side support. Icing on the cake. There we go. So, I didn't score as well as with the previous boss. However, against that boss, that's still very good. It's difficult to get a really good score against them with this particular team setup. So, getting 13,891 is a solid enough score. Again, it beats the 13,500. So right now, as it stands, I have nearly 1,000 points cushion for this next and final boss. So, I could score 12,500 and still be good enough to get all the goodies. Alright, so let's take a look at this team. Alright, this is another physical damage team, however it's ranged physical damage unlike the last one, which was close combat. Again, we've got Bronya in here with her star cannon to apply a debuff, but this time we've got Celestial Hem. She kind of works similar to Starlet, except she can't do support from off the field like dropping an AoE. Instead, what she does is she applies a buff to your team as long as the enemy has a debuff. And on top of that, her cross does do the same thing. It applies a debuff to the enemy and buffs you while it's on the field. So, here we go. It's going to be somewhat similar. Herschel of the Void, your main damage dealer, is going to be, well, the main damage dealer. Now, if you've got your own Herschel of the Void, she will outperform this one, even if she's only got her secondary gear. I don't know why, but they've always made the trial Herschel of the Void much weaker than the actual character. Well, I shouldn't say much weaker, but definitely noticeably weaker. So, here we go. So, first things first, wait for the boss, shoot them, switch, drop the cross, get a dodge in, switch, and now just go to town on the boss. Now, I usually wait to fire off the weapon's ability until after I've gone into Herschel mode, because it is affected by Herschel mode. The Herschel of the Void's Herschel mode increases her damage by a noticeable margin. That includes things such as the shot from the gun, which is that little meteorite I've been dropping on. That shot also increases her charge for Herschel of the Void. So it lets her maintain it longer if it's already up, or charge it up faster if it's down. And this is another move that's a good idea to wait till you're in Herschel mode to fire, because it does actually benefit from Herschel mode. It increases its damage. We're still more than enough to get the job done. Unfortunately, I don't think my score is very good this time around. 13,194. I was using my own setup with my own characters. Wouldn't have been that much of an issue. I probably could have scored closer to 14,000. You know what? Let's see if I'm speaking the truth or just blowing smoke. So, these are not the trial characters. As you can see here, trial battle suits are off. These are my characters. Exact same team setup. There must be on my co-op or friends list, but anyway, moving right along. So, going to be doing a similar thing as to what I did last time. Shoot the boss, switch, drop the cross. I don't have her signature cross, meaning the buff's not quite as good. Come on. Yeah, that's about 20... So that's about 20 seconds faster than last time. Didn't quite get to the 1400, but I got 13,950. Pretty big improvement. It's nearly 1,000 point... Well, it's 800 points and change difference. But yeah, I didn't even have to do that. I've already got the score I needed to, well, get all the points, get all the loot, get all the goodness. So, thank you very much for watching. I do appreciate it. I hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button if you'd like to see me again. And until next time, I'll catch you then.